Welcome back to Jet Recaps. Today I will show you a fiction movie, titled Super Bob Ross. The opening scene shows meteorites heading towards Earth, and is on the verge of hitting the Earth's surface. Next, the scene shifts to the seashore and we are introduced to a man named Oleg. He was on a canoe next to a freighter at the sea. He was preparing to unload some cargo onto his canoe. The canoeist told him that the canoe could only carry a load of 600 kilograms. But he still decides to carry the cargo, weighing 1,000 kilograms. And misleads the canoeist by saying that the weight of the cargo is only 600 kilograms. As a result, the canoe sinks into the water along with the shipment. By all means, Oleg and the boatman manage to reach the shore. As a reparation for the loss, Oleg has to give his car to the canoeist. After this, he visits the bank where he meets his childhood friend, Svetlana. She works there as a cashier and Oleg needed a bank loan worth $1 million. Svetlana was shocked to hear the loan amount. She added further that no bank would give him such a huge amount without reliable security. Svetlana decides to take him to her dad, hoping he might help Oleg. On reaching her home, Svetlana introduces him to her family. Later on, Oleg discusses his trouble with her dad Boris, and asks him for help. He also promises to give him a commission for the help. But Boris rejects his proposal and insults him. The next scene again shifts back to meteorites hitting the Earth. Chaos ensues as the meteorite falls on their house. Later, they observe meteoroids falling everywhere in the city. Meanwhile, they realize that Grandpa is left inside and they all rush inside to save him. On reaching there they discover that Grandpa is injured. They help him out and go off to sleep later. The next morning Oleg finds the grandfather dead. He goes to Svetlana, but she doesn't get up as she is exhausted. Next, Oleg discovers to his surprise that all the family members now have a superpower. Svetlana's sister Shasha has now turned into a superwoman. She has become very strong and can now break anything. Her elder sister, Lita, could fly in the air. Whereas Svetlana now has acquired the ability to become invisible. Later, they realize that their superpowers would only work if they all are together, within a radius of 20 meters. Now Oleg comes up with an idea to use their power and earn some money out of it. But Svetlana's dad rejects this proposal. Meanwhile Svetlana's younger brother, Lig, enters and tells them about his power. He says that he has the superpower to talk to the animals. Now on witnessing everyone acquiring superpower, Oleg tries to discover his, but couldn't find anything. Next morning, we see Svetlana's dad recognizing his superpower of traveling anywhere at will. They decide to showcase their powers in public and earn some money out of it. The next day, they arrange a meeting with the talent show director. Later that day, Oleg suggests that they should rob the bank with the help of these superpowers. However, Svetlana's dad rejects this idea too. Later that day, the goons threaten him to repay $1 million or else they will kill him. Terrified, Oleg asks them to give him a week. Svetlana nearby hears everything and agrees to rob the bank. Svetlana convinces her father to help them in the robbery. After her emotional blackmailing, her father agrees. At home, they all discuss the strategy to rob the bank. Oleg says that the entire plan shall be executed by Svetlana because she has the ability to disappear. And the other members just have to witness her doing that. She would enter the bank being invisible and after looting, she would come back. Next morning, they all get ready to rob the bank. All of them were waiting outside the bank. As decided, Svetlana prepares herself for the robbery by becoming invisible. But her dress was still visible so she removes it. Oleg decides to accompany her in the bank. With her invisible mode on, she enters the bank. She makes a note of the codes and passwords used by the officials. But soon, their plan gets sabotaged with the arrival of the police. They ask the family members waiting outside to move ahead with their car. Eventually, the family goes out of range and Svetlana starts becoming visible. On encountering this issue, Oleg leaves the bank to bring everyone together. To use their powers they all have to be together in a radius of 20 meters. He succeeds in doing so and Svetlana becomes invisible again. After a while, she comes out of the bank and gets into the car, but without money as police was nearby. And they all leave the place. On returning home Oleg gets infuriated. He starts yelling and calls them absurd for not being able to rob the bank. Svetlana's sister on hearing this informs them about her theater show in the bank's building. They decide to engage people in the theater and meanwhile will loot the bank. However, this plan fails as the Don captures Oleg. The goons beat him badly and throw him out of the theater. Later that night, Oleg insults Svetlana's family again. Now they decide to prove themselves by robbing the bank at any cost. To execute their plan, Svetlana's elder sister flies and enchains the bank store. Later, the younger one, using her strength, pulls it out of the building. Next, with the help of her superwoman powers, she manages to get the bank locker. They put the lockers inside the van. Finally, they succeeded in looting the bank. The next morning, all of them enjoy being outside the city. Meanwhile, Grandpa declares that it is time for him to die and asks them to leave. They leave, and after a while Grandpa dies. After dividing the looted money, Svetlana decides to go back to Grandpa. Oleg disagrees with it. As a result, Svetlana asks him to take his money and leave. Oleg leaves and repays the money to Don. Now he decides to leave the country along with the remaining amount. While waiting at the airport, he comes across the news on TV. The police have arrested Svetlana's family. When they went to the funeral agent, he refused to return Grandpa's dead body. They offered him $1 million, to which he agreed. But he suspected them of misdoing and informed the police about it. After investigation, police had arrested them. Next, Oleg reaches the court with Grandpa. Which means his superpower was to become alive after death. With Grandpa's return, everyone activates and starts using their superpower with tremendous destruction. The movie comes to an end as they succeed in escaping the police custody with the help of Don. If you enjoyed this recap, kindly like and subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon. Do let us know what you think about the movie in the comment section below. Enjoy other movie explanations on our channel. Thanks for watching.